Ashley. So I'm going to do this video for you now, as promised. So I'm just going to move through some really simple stretches, and the first bit's just to get you warmed up, so it's a bit of a sequence. So follow it and let me know if you've got any questions about any of it. Okay, let's go. Alright, so we're going to start. If you've got a yoga mat, that's great, but don't worry if you haven't, as long as it's a non-slip surface. So we're going to stand with our feet together and take a nice big stretch right up above the head. If it causes you to bend your elbows, bring your arms a little bit lower, more in front of you, big stretch up, and then bending the arms and bending the knees, drop right over, so no straight legs, making sure your ribs are on your knees, dropping over. It doesn't matter how much you bend the knees, as long as your heels are still on the floor, and then really relax the neck. Really feel compression down through the chest, belly and thighs. Relaxing neck. And then without straightening the legs at all, lift the chest away from the knees. Your fingertips are still on the floor, look forwards, and then we'll step right leg and left leg back. We're going to go down to the floor through a little press up, making sure that the chest hits the floor just before the tummy. So we lower down, keeping the elbows in, so it's a tricep dip down to the floor. Then point the feet so the toenails are on the floor, elbows close to the body, keep the shoulders back, and just a gentle lift up. Avoid pushing your shoulders forwards, really pull them back, hands pressing, lie back down. Push onto your knees, toes tucked under, and then we're in the downward dog position. So classic yoga stretch. So when you're fully stretched out, it would be more like this, but when your hamstrings are tight and your back's tight, you tend to round. So if you go ahead and bend your knees a lot and stick the bum right up to the ceiling and stretch out your back, don't worry about having straight legs. Really bend those knees and just push the bottom upwards, stretching the hips away, pushing the mat forwards nice and strong, and relaxing the neck. Take a few breaths here. You're still pushing the heels down, even though you're bending the knees. They don't get to the floor, that doesn't matter. And then look forward, step back up between your hands, and then fingers on the floor, bending knees, look forwards, lift your chest away from the knees, and then drop back over, all the way over, looking through your shins to the back of your mat, and then raise the arms back up, and bring the arms down, and we'll do the same again. Reach up, big stretch up, and folding forwards, bring your body again against your legs. Drop the head, look through the legs, lift the chest away, keeping the fingertips on the floor, look forwards. Step back, and ready to do the press up, dip down, stay down, stretch the toes flat, inhale, lift the chest, look up, shoulders back, not forwards. Don't worry about the arms being straight, you might just be here. Lie back down, tuck under the toes, push to the knees, and then pushing up again. Remember, don't straighten up those legs, keep the back nice and arched. So you want to stick the buttocks up, to tip your sit bones up, and extend your hamstrings. Even though the legs aren't straight, you're still really extending the hamstrings here. Relax the neck, elbows in. Breathing slowly into the nose and out of the nose if you can. Nice slow breaths. And look forwards, step back to the top. Inhale, look forwards, fingers on the floor, lift the chest away from the legs, drop the chest down. Inhale, raise the arms back up. Look to the hands, hands are together, and bring the arms down. A little bit different the next one, so we start in a squat. So squat down, touch the floor, and then reach up again, but we're still squatting. And then again, fold over like we did before, chest on the legs, fingers on the floor, look back through the legs. Inhale, lift the chest away from the legs, look forwards, fingers still down, step back. Nice and strong, rigid body, slowly to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest, maybe a bit higher, and lie back down. Tuck under the toes, push onto your knees, and push back into your downward dog position. So again, don't worry about those legs. Now look forwards, big step, right foot up between the hands. If it's quite difficult for you to get there and your hips are tight, and you kind of step more here, you just grab the back of the heel with the same hand, so this one's right and right, pull it the rest of the way. Drop the back knee down on the floor, back foot flat to the ground, hands to the hip, and then lift the abdomen up. So push your knee forwards with your own hands and lift the belly. Still sinking forwards, knee over heel at the front, lifting chest. And release, hands down, step back on both knees and left foot forwards. Again, you can pull it if you need to, sinking down, deep lunge, hands to knee, push forwards and lift up the belly. So you can see that my back thigh is on a diagonal. Try not to be upright like this. Push forwards, stretch through this hip, lift the chest and trying to make a big gap here between the belly and the thigh. Push that knee forwards. Hands down, tuck your back toes, step back into the downward dog. Now you might stretch your legs a bit more, but you still need to feel an arch here. So you can see my back is flat. What we don't want is to straighten the legs and then round the back like this. So make sure you've got a nice release through your back all the time. Long, slow breaths. Pushing back. If you find your arms are bending, you just turn your hands out a little bit and then squeeze those elbows. So you want to lock your arms as much as possible. Nice and relaxed in the neck. Look forwards, and this time, little jump to the top. Fingers down, inhale, look forwards, drop the head, remember chest on your legs, and staying in the squat position, reaching up, and stretch. Exactly the same again. Reach down to squat, heels are on the floor. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fold forwards, relax the neck, really important, look back. Inhale, fingers are on the floor, but we lift the chest up high. Step back, slowly lower down, slowly inhale, lift up, elbows in, shoulders back. Lie back down, tuck under the toes. If you don't want to use the knees, you can push straight back to your downward dog. Look forwards, big step. This time we won't put the knee down and bring your hands to your thigh. Still trying to lift up nice and strong. So your back heel is off the floor, you're on the ball of the foot, and again trying to make this gap between thigh and belly, lifting up. Try and keep this back leg really straight, and then raise the arms, balance. So keep looking forwards and listening. Hands down, step back, downward dog. Press the chest back, stretch, and then left foot forwards. So back heel stays up, you're on the ball of the foot. Come up, little pit stop here. Push that back leg, try not to let the back knee bend. And then making this gap between the belly and the thigh, and reach up. Holding strong, push through both heels, pushing both heels away from each other. Reach tall, strengthen the legs. Hands down, step back, and you're in your downward dog again. So remember, you can bend your knees if you need to. If you're quite flexible, you'll be able to lift the bum up towards the ceiling more and more, arching this back, pulling through the hamstrings and pushing the chest down to stretch the shoulders. Good, just a little rest here now, so bring the knees down, bring the knees wide, bring the big toes together, feet flat. Now see, as long as your knees feel alright, see if you can sit right back on your heels and then reach forwards and bring the chest and head down. And then look forwards, come back up on the hands and knees, bring knees in. And now we're going to, without moving our hands, hands are shoulder width apart, we're going to step the left foot outside the left hand, just outside the little finger, and now turn your left toes wide as possible without letting this right hip drop too close to the floor. Good, now walk the hands forwards and try and push the hips, keeping them level, forwards and down, so getting a deep stretch in the hip. Try to keep chest up. If that's not too bad, see if you can bring the right elbow to the floor. As long as this heel isn't coming off the floor, you might be able to take your left one down, but make sure this knee isn't falling in. Try and push it back. You can actually give it a little bit of pressure through the hand as well, as long as the heel doesn't come off the floor, leaning back. If you can keep it back away from the body, both elbows down. And then back up on your hands, back on both knees, and we have a go on the other side. So right foot, nice deep lunge, turn the right toes off the mat or as wide as possible, walk a bit further forwards, and trying to keep your hips level, pushing forwards with those hips, lifting the chest. Nice long slow breaths. So try not to let this hip drop towards the floor. Push through your left knee so that you feel that the sit bones and the hips are as level as possible. And then let's have a go taking left elbow down, as long as your hip doesn't fall, down to the floor. And we might want to push the right knee back, as long as that right heel's on the floor. So pressure through your left hand helps you find the purchase to push that right knee back. And then maybe both elbows down. Again, want to keep lifting the chest and looking up. And it's completely alright if you, for the whole of that stretch, were just on the hands, and you can develop the rest of the flexibility in time. So come back on both knees, take the knees wide again, feet together, feet flat, and then sink the bum back down on the heels and drop the head again. So if you feel it's really strong in the shoulders, take the arms wider. So you want to feel weight in the forehead. And then coming up on the hands and knees again. So last time, so similar, we step the left foot and we turn the toes out just like before. Now we bring the right hand, the opposite hand, to the centre, come right up on your fingertips so you've got some height. Left arm reaches all the way back. We're going to take hold of the right foot with the left hand and then turn the chest upwards. So try not to be right up on the kneecap, that will be painful. Try and sink forwards in lunge. Try and bring your right hand then back where it was to the right and sink forwards. Remember, left heel on the floor. Good, so we're turning the chest up, still holding that foot. Should be a really intense stretch in the thigh. If it's not too bad, maybe you're going to bring your elbow back to the floor, still holding onto that foot behind you and opening the left knee, turning the chest upwards. And then gently and gradually let go of that foot. Sometimes you can use a belt to get hold of the foot if you can't get it on its own, and then step back on both knees, other side. So right foot, nice lunge, remember, angle on the back thigh, turn the right toes out, left hand comes to the centre on the fingertips for height, right arm reaching back, grab hold of your foot, and then turn your chest and look forwards, and if it's not too intense, bring the left hand back to the side. And we're pushing the hips forwards, keeping the chest up, trying not to flop the head down. Good, and again, if it's not too bad, bring your left elbow down. You can work towards this as well. And then push the foot into the hand. So you're not pulling the foot to you, you're pushing the foot away and then turning the chest and the right shoulder up towards the ceiling. So not pulling, pushing through the foot into the hand. And then gently letting go. Try not to let go quickly. And then come back up. Both knees. Tuck the toes. And push back into your downward dog. You might get the legs a bit more straight, but don't compromise and have the back rounding like this and the legs straight. Maybe you need this release, and then you can straighten the legs over time. So look forwards now, bring the knees back down, and then just come to sit. So just two more stretches. So for the lower back you said was tight. We're going to have another stretch now, and stretch the right hamstring as well. So bring the right leg forwards, and the left foot to the inside thigh or just against your inner knee. Lift up tall. So you can see my back is really upright here, but if you're more like this and this knee is bending, what you need to do is elevate yourself. So you won't have a yoga block, but you might have, being a pilot, a really big manual. It's a manual of asanas, yoga asanas. So get that, sit on it, and that usually allows the leg to be a bit more straight and you to get that lift through the lower back here. So you just elevated yourself up a little bit. Now, nice big reach up, and you might still need to bend this knee to reach and grab this foot. pull your belly in, inhale, and then as you exhale, don't flop the head down towards the knee, just look over your toes and think about bringing the breastbone towards the kneecap, not the head towards the knee, just leaning forwards. And if the head goes anywhere, it's towards the shin. Good, a few breaths here. You might have the legs straight, you might not need the book after a few practices. And then come up and release it, other leg. So straighten your left leg, bring your right foot in. Again, it's different hamstrings, so this one might need bending, it might not. Reach up, make sure your back is not rounding and collapsed, really try and lift it up. And then extend forwards over the leg. Nice big inhale and exhale, pulling forwards. So remember, we're not taking that head towards the knee, trying to bring your chest towards your knee. Lots of breaths, slowly inhaling, slowly exhale, just going a little bit deeper. Inhale and exhale. And remember, it's fine to bend the knee, bringing yourself a bit further down. Good. And then lifting up the chest and releasing. So last stretch now. So bring both the soles of the feet together. So on this one, if you feel your knees really high like this, and again you collapse back, be on the book and try and drop the knees down. If they don't go very far down, you need to take the feet further away from you. The further away they go, the lower they'll drop. So you want to have a little bit of give in them. You might not need to be on the book, but you need to be on the book if your back is collapsing down. So nice big inhale here. Try not to pull on the feet, just start to walk forwards, drop your head, so your head is flopping right down, chin into the throat. You might be right up here, and that's fine. So just letting go, but not letting go in the belly. So pull your belly back, and then just gradually, slow breaths, you're taking your head towards your feet. So I don't know where you'll get to, but I'll probably have a look at some point in the future. You can always send me a video of you doing this. That'd be really helpful, and then I can give you lots of pointers. So wherever you are, you're breathing, you're relaxing that neck, really important, and just listening. Trying to relax the hips. And then walking back up, rolling back up through your back. And bring the knees together. And then you can jump off your brick or your book. You can always get a yoga block. And then, really important to just have a little relax. So just bring your knees up. Roll slowly, slowly down the spine to the floor. Try to keep your feet on the floor. And then what's important is that you bring your feet up and you tuck your tailbone under. So you tuck your buttocks under so your back is imprinted in the floor, and then it should feel comfortable. And then release one leg, two legs, let the toes drop out. Hands face up, really relax the shoulders. And when you put the head on the floor, tuck the chin as if you're trying to make big double chin, and just have some time to relax. So trying to be as heavy as possible. You can close your eyes. It's really important that you let the mouth be open and slack. Relax the tongue. Feeling the weight of your arms. Feeling the weight of your legs increase. Notice your breath is slowing down. Heart rate may be slowing down. And the idea here is to try to focus exclusively all of your attention on your breathing, natural breathing. Trying not to influence that breath. Just observing the rise and fall of the belly, swell of the chest, and a nice smooth movement of the diaphragm under the ribs, lifting and dropping. And when you notice your mind is wandering off to other things, just catch hold of that, direct your interest to your breathing. And after a while you might notice that after your exhale, a little natural and brief pause occurs before the next inhale. So observe that little pause and feel the stillness in it. And that's a place of real relaxation, even though it's very brief. If you like, you can extend it a little bit before the inhale, allowing the breath to always be natural, soft and easy. And if you're ready to stop, start to wiggle the fingers, the toes. Gently open the eyes, stretch the arms up above the head, stretch the legs together and arch the back. And then roll onto your side. Head heavy, knees heavy, arms relaxed. And then turn so the chest is facing the floor and just use your arms to roll through your back. It's had a good stretch. And then come all the way up. And I hope that's helpful. If you want me to do anything differently or you want to record your stretch and let me have a look at it, I'll be happy to do that for you. So hope it's helpful and thanks again for what you've done for me. Cheers, bye bye.